Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Let's Get Working. Today we're going to talk about volunteer work, which is part of broadening your network and giving you experience and opportunity to try new things. Today we'll be speaking with Dave Hammond, who's the CEO of Fusion Western Sydney. And at Western Sydney, they have much opportunity to do volunteer work. You can work in radio, cafe, retail, with young mum groups, just to name a few. So Dave, welcome.
Hello. Thanks, Martha.
How are you?
Good. I am good.
All right. So tell me, what kind of volunteer work happens at Fusion?
Well, everything we do is either completely volunteer or it has a volunteer component to it. We run a cafe there. It was only just opened it last year, but that is exclusively run by volunteers. Making the drinks and so on, and cleaning and all the rest of it. In fact, it was designed by volunteers in the first place. There's a lovely little clothing store, second-hand clothing store called Recycled Threads, and that's also exclusively run by volunteers. We have a cooking training program, so that we've just installed a training kitchen, and that's run by volunteers. That we have a big 1,500 square metre veggie garden, for fruit and veggies.
Yeah.
There's opportunities for people to. They can even have a bit of their own plot or work in the hothouse propagating. But also there are things to do that would be traditionally seen as employed. Normally you'd only get it if you could get a paid job, but so you can do those things with us too. Like, for example, there's administration.
Okay. Yeah.
That we have a number of volunteers working in administration and have had some high-end kind of administrative volunteers. People who have, got. One's just finished with us. She had experience as a producer with NBC in the US.
Wow.
And with the Sydney Morning Herald, I think the Canberra Times, that kind of thing. And she'd been home with the kids for a number of years and just wanted to get her foot back into the water. So she worked for 2 years. It's just a couple of days a week as our PR person, media person.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, a lot of our senior people, senior workers, are actually volunteers. A lady called Bernadette, she has just launched last year, it's going really well, the Far and Wide Productions. It's a theatre production company, so they're already underway and doing productions, and we've got a full year of that. So yeah, there's just, I think you mentioned radio, there's a recording studio, it just goes on, and we haven't finished yet, so we keep inventing things as we go.
So why would people volunteer?
I don't know why. Look, I think there's a number of reasons. On a bigger scale, volunteering is critical to our nation. If you removed all of the volunteering that happens in Australia, for example, if you removed that overnight, we'd collapse. The nation would collapse.
Well, I actually have some stats here from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. This is from 2006, and it says that 34% of the Australian population aged 18 years and over participated in volunteer work. So that's 1/3 of the population.
Yes, and our experience, there are non-traditional volunteering. That happens. For example, our employees, you don't call it volunteering, but what happens is that they will regularly do an extra couple of hours at the end of a day or on a weekend or whatever because they want to. Like we just had a fundraising garage sale on Saturday, last Saturday, and employees turned. They weren't being paid, but they wanted to turn up, and they bought a few things from home to sell on the garage sale, You know, now you don't refer to that as volunteering, but it is. And I would say that if you measured volunteering like that, that percentage would be more like 2/3 of the population.
Yeah.
I'll bet you are involved in some way in giving themselves without it being paid.
Yeah. Okay. So when you volunteer, you gain skills.
I think you gain a lot of things. That lady I told you about, who used to work in television and newspaper, all she wanted to do was to after 10 years out of that workplace, she just wanted to get the hang of being back in a workplace.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the things it can help you prepare to engage in the workplace without the pressure of I'm being paid, I've got to deliver right now.
Yeah. So it's about getting you into a routine.
Yeah, I think that's one aspect. Another aspect is that I think it's some people may not agree with me, but I think it's a civic duty for all Australians to volunteer, every person to give themselves.
Okay.
I'm a huge believer in it, even if it's just a little bit, but to give, and not money, but themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like you can donate money, but I think it's a responsibility of all Australians and young people to give something of themselves back. But there are other things that can give you the skills, as you say. We've got people learning audio engineering and gardening, you know, all these things, and that becomes useful later on, you know, in a normal job.
Yeah, and also it looks good on your resume.
It does. As a person who employs people,
well,
I'll tell you what looks good.
What looks
not little bits here and there, but someone who has got, it looks like they've done something for 2 or 3 years on their resume, because it tells me they're not just getting their resume looking good.
right.
As a person who employs, that tells me, hello, that person looks committed. You know, they're not just in and out, you know, for themselves. They've put themselves in for a while, and that's helped that organisation.
Yeah.
And that impresses me, as I say, as an employer. Yeah.
Okay. And also volunteer work helps with social contact as well.
I look at it. Look, it's endless. I think personally, here's a radical view. I think that we've misunderstood the purpose of work.
Okay.
I truly think we've misunderstood it. It's not about earning money. I know that's what it looks like it is, you know, and a lot of people only go to their job. It's true, so they got money to spend on the weekend or just survive. But I think work should be about something more than that. It should be about that sense of community and meaning and purpose.
And also passion. I think it's important to
Yes.
get up in the morning and want to go to work. And this is something that we look to make happen at Nova. It's not about just getting a job. It's about getting a fulfilling job that suits who you are, your character, your skills, and the kind of work you want to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we have people in Fusion who are vocational volunteers. Now, I won't go into in great detail because it'll take all day, but they work full time and they are volunteers.
Yeah.
And they do it because that's what, in their life, that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Rather than, spending all week earning money somewhere and then doing a little bit of something on the weekends. They've chosen to live frugally. So, volunteering is important.
I know I did that for about 5 years on and off. I chose to work as a volunteer full time at Fusion, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I learned so much. I gained lots of skills, lots of experience, and it helped with my self-esteem and self-worth. And it helped me to apply for a job because it gave me the confidence that I was able to do it. It's been great talking to you. That's it for today on Let's Get Working. I'll see you next week. And remember, if you have any comments or questions that you'd like to ask, just write on the blog and I'll get to answering your question as soon as I can. Thanks. Have a great week.